FSF PopCast live show. Well, hello, kids and cadets. Welcome to the FSF PopCast live show. We are very excited tonight. We've got some great guests waiting in our virtual green room. And just want to take a quick second to remind you that this is a show made by nerds for nerds. So we are glad that you have found your way to our nerdery.
Who's a nerd? I'm not a nerd. You're a nerd.
John, I'm not late. It's 8:00 on the dot. Just
not on the dot. There was about 20 seconds. He's not wrong.
John, the clock is a few minutes fast, remember?
I will kick you out, Ben. It's early for this.
Well, all right, everybody. Have a go.
It's good to see you back on camera, Ben.
Exactly.
In the live for less than a minute. Kicked out.
So now, originally, if you saw the artwork here, this is the artwork we put out all week leading up to the show. We made a quick change to that, and as you see, it's a little bit different. So just a little bit. John was unable to make it back. He's traveling from Vancouver, and there's this plane with wings, and it wasn't going to get out on time, and there were some delays. And anyway, John Billingsley sends his love and his apologies, and we're going to have John back on the show in a couple weeks because we need to talk to him and some others of the Trek world as well about PanCan and Purple Stride. And so we're going to have him back on. And so John, again, sends his love. And so we'll talk. We'll have Bonnie and Lori here with us in just a quick moment. But we do want to say a quick thank you to all of our viewers because it's our viewers like you and our show partners that help make this show this show possible, rather. So that, of course, is Bones Coffee Company. Go to bonescoffeecompany.com and you can use our code FSF PopCast to get 10% off your order. If you go to Idea Farm, which is formerly TCT's, you can use the code FSF15 to get 15% off your order. And then, of course, although it's not a very Trekkie thing, it is a very nerd thing. If you want a lightsaber that is better than a stick, please go to Level Up Sabers and buy yourself one of the coolest lightsabers from one of the coolest dudes you'll ever have a chance to deal with, and that's Master Alan from Level Up Sabers. And I can't tell you how much we love working with Master Alan. He's a good dude. He loves his nerd community, no matter what nerdiverse you happen to be following.
As long as they're not punk roll, he's fine.
Yeah, that's the only thing he doesn't like.
Yeah, there's some language used with Ponkrell, but that's a whole nother topic.
He does have a couple good Trek videos too. They're
he does.
But he's got some pretty good ones. He
does. And then also, we want to make sure that this is a painless process. And speaking of a painless process, I'm one slide ahead of myself. I forgot about this one. Haha. All right.
But hey, check out our socials.
Hey, follow us on our socials. See, that was painless as well. But truthfully, painless is the movie Novocaine. So, I was trying to.
I wish that worked on me.
Yeah, I was trying to make that work. But bring home Novocaine. Buy it on digital now. When the girl of his dreams is taken hostage, Nathan Kane's inability to feel pain will be his greatest strength in the fight to get her back. Buy the film critics are calling outrageous, original, and wildly entertaining. And get over 35 minutes of bone-crushing extra features available at participating retailers. Rated R from Paramount Pictures. Now, here's the cool thing, kids. If you want, there's a link down below that says Get Free Loot. If you click that, sign up, you have a chance to win free loot. One of those free loots is a digital code for a free copy of Novocaine. We have a couple of copies to give away, so sign up. Do the things, have the fun.
I'm slightly concerned about the bone-crushing extra features.
Well, yeah, if you blow up this picture that I have on the screen there, and you read the disclaimer by the rated R, the bone-crushing part makes sense.
Yes, it does. It was just the phrasing got me.
Yeah, I betcha.
There's also, all three of us are incredibly, physically broken people.
Not.
Says the woman who's had 6 surgeries in 2 weeks. But anyway.
3 surgeries in 6 months. It's
whatever. It's close enough.
Continue. Sorry.
All right. We have people waiting.
I interrupted him.
We have some amazing guests in the back. We need to get on screen before we go completely off the rails and blow the whole thing over. Trying to talk about tonight.
Rails.
There's no rails. Off the hover rails.
It's what I do.
I'm aware. All right. So
we are the train tracks and the penny.
So we're very excited tonight to talk about TrekTalks, which is the annual telethon designed to benefit the Hollywood Food Coalition. There's a lot of people in Star Trek that are involved in this, and so we are going to take a moment now to welcome in Bonnie Gordon. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, so you might recognize Bonnie as the voice of the Protostar in Star Trek Prodigy.
Yes, but you only hear me, you don't see me, so recognizing me is difficult.
Well, that's probably true. But okay, so she's the voice of Protostar, and that's really cool. So anyway, and then we
turn
have
off her camera, and then it'll be fine.
Hello and welcome. Thank you.
There you go.
Red alert. Red alert.
Uh-oh. All right, hang on. Let me put down my tea if it's a red alert.
And then also waiting for us, we have Lori Ulster, who's from TrekMovie.com and one of the co-producers of TrekTalks. So we're glad to have you guys here. Thank you for making some time for us.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to be here.
I'm sorry I'm not John Billingsley. I feel like it's a bad bait and switch.
You know what, though?
No, absolutely not.
At least you're wearing pants, Lori. John,
You don't know.
I
know
don't.
I'm wearing pants.
That's true. You don't know if I'm wearing pants.
Right.
The world may never know. We all know that John isn't, though. So that's,
Right there.
He did admit that the last time he was on.
That's kind of the slogan of the whole Trek Talks. It's like you can tune in. You don't even have to wear pants, and that's the big. That's apparently a big plus in John's world. So.
Yeah, he must really hate pants.
That must come with just
know what?
John.
We should invest in a kilt for him. I bet you he would love it.
Oh, John could rock a kilt pretty easily. Yeah.
Can confirm, kilts way better than pants.
Mm-hmm.
Kilts for everyone.
Yeah, I told you it came with the name. Wasn't wrong.
That's Kathleen's husband. He's a big fan of kilts.
That's the slightly less famous John.
Yes.
Just by a pinch. But yeah,
I thought I was the less famous John. Oh, wait.
No. You're the ever famous Lori. So, no, we're very excited to have you back. This is actually a back for both of you. Both of you have both been guests on for an interview on our show, and we appreciate your time for that as well. That was awesome. But tonight, let's talk a little bit about TrekTalks. Now, for those who aren't familiar with what TrekTalks is and what it does, what is the purpose of TrekTalks and the Hollywood Food Coalition? I'll get this word out tonight, I promise.
Bonnie, since you're going to be saying it on air so much, I think you should take this one.
Oh, fantastic. Well, so Trek Talks is basically a all-day charity telethon. And John and his wife, Bonnie, are very much involved with the Hollywood Food Coalition. And so this is our way of, this is basically a huge telethon charity event to raise money for the organization. And John, using his Trek powers, basically puts on this incredible virtual convention where people can tune in and watch from their homes. It's all via Zoom, and you tune in all day, donate. We have amazing raffles. We have amazing things that you can bid on. That auction. Thank you. But I swear, my brain is working. We have like a huge thunderstorm going on outside. So every time I hear lightning and thunder, I'm like, oh, did they get that? Is that happening? Is my internet still working? So, but no, it's for a good cause. And it's pretty much the whole Trek community comes together and the sci-fi community comes together. We have actors, writers, creators, all within the Trek community. Mm-hmm. We have people with Trek Division and leading the way of what the Roddenberry vision is all about furthering science, furthering STEM, furthering diversity in the world, making the world a better place any and every way we can. And that's what the whole day is about, raising money for a good cause and coming together as a community. And it's such a fun event. There's so many things happening, so many different panels. Honestly, we try and post about something new every day, but we run out of time to post about it because there's just so much programming and things that we've planned for it. And every year we try and get more and different things, different guests, different types of panels, different reunions. So it's a really exciting event that everyone should tune into. Lori, you take over.
I was just going to jump in. We try to take people from across the franchise. So So if you loved your 90s Trek or you love your current Trek, you're going to find people who act on the shows and create and produce the shows, which I
Exactly.
think is really, really important. And it's always really fun.
Question.
Ben,
Yes.
question?
Do you have anyone from Voyager this year?
Kate Mulgrew is one
Yeah.
of our main guests of honor.
And Robert
Absolutely.
Picardo.
And Picardo, of course.
Oh
And
my
they're
God.
going to be together.
All right, I'm tuning in. I already was going to tune in, but I'm tuning
Right.
in.
Even more so.
So
Focus.
here's also, if you're a Voyager fan, we are doing a tribute to Jerry Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Brandon Braga, David Livingston, Lisa Klink, and
Nice.
Brian Fuller, who are all going to come and talk about what she was like to work with and what she contributed to the franchise. And I won the lottery, and I get to moderate that panel, and I'm very
I'm
excited.
jealous about that one. I'm
I'm
not
so
gonna lie.
excited. That's very cool.
I have all of the panels to moderate. I'm like, that's a good one.
I have
feel
to
like
say,
I won.
looking at the lineup that I have seen on your guys' social posts, there's a ton, and it's going to be
It's an
insane.
all-day event. I mean, we start in the morning and go all day. I mean, and there's no like you just tune in and watch, like make your lunch, sit in front of your screen and go for it. It's all day. I mean, different types of panels, different types of programming, different videos. We have guests from all the shows, like all across the board. There was a Discovery reunion panel that I'm very excited about. They got so many cast members from Discovery to do this reunion panel, and
from across all 5 seasons. So they're people who never worked together, but we're on the show.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's
Oh,
we have,
yeah.
like, some season 1 and 2 people mixed with some of the later season people. So
Nice.
that should be really fun. And then a couple of people from the bridge crew, which the amazing part is that they saw that we were doing this. Ronnie Rowe and Sarah Middich and Blue Del Barrio saw that we were doing this stuff and said, "Can I please participate?"
they went, yeah. Can I
Oh,
come play?
cool.
Yeah. So
yeah, how come I'm
That's
not
cool.
on the list? And we're like, "You are on the list now, baby."
mhm.
So
That's all
they're
it
all
takes.
there.
Yeah.
That's
And
one
that
of the-
just really solidifies how amazing again, personal opinion, but I think it's fact how amazing the Star Trek community is, including the actors and creatives that are part of the process and part of the shows. Because I feel like once you're a part of a franchise like Star Trek, you do want the future. You want the Federation to exist. You want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just a small way that we can all give back and be a part of something bigger and better.
Go ahead.
No, after you.
I was just going to say, I think that's the beauty of it, is that it's the vision of what Star Trek is part of the DNA of this whole telethon, which is that people are coming together to make the world better for people who need it. So
Absolutely.
it's the Hollywood Food Coalition is there serving hot meals with loving dignity, like really treating people in a way that other people do not treat them, people in need. Especially now where I can't even get into what's going on in the country.
With the world being a very darker
Harsh.
place than
Very
it was.
scary.
Yeah.
It's a very scary place right now. Yeah.
A little bit
So-
more harsher, and the people who need it the most, just a kind hand and a warm meal are
Makes
the
all the
ones.
difference in the world.
Mhm.
And then you have all of these Star Trek people who are coming to celebrate this franchise at the same time. So it's just, I mean, the very first year, so I only came on, I started with last year's telethon, but I hadn't been on it before. And the first year that it was on, I was like, what is this all day Star Trek? What the hell? So I put it on thinking I'll probably watch a panel or two. I watched the entire I spent the whole day in front of my laptop, moving it around, just like you're like making some lunch and going back and doing my thing.
Yep.
And then I was
That
like,
was me last year.
I was like, I want to help these people. And then the next year they were so busy trying to make it happen that they didn't even have time to like answer my emails saying, let me help. So then I went to John Billingsley. I was interviewing him and I was like, dude, I really want to help. And he was like, you're in. And so there we go.
See,
And
I
you're
love
an amazing part of the team, Lori. You're an
I'm in
amazing part of the
everybody's
team.
face about everything.
No, I
all
love
the
it.
time.
I love it. You are such a instrumental part of the team. Absolutely. You are pulling all kinds of strings. I always feel until the hosting part comes, I always feel like when I'm behind the scenes, I'm like, I can like send an email, but after that, I'm just like, oh gosh, making graphics, doing this. I'm like, I'm so bad at all of that kind of stuff. So I feel useless half the time behind the
Well, you
scenes.
book people for us, and
I
you're the
help, I
beautiful
help.
face
There you
of it,
go.
and you do an amazing
awesome.
job hosting. So
Well, that's mostly
That-
because John Billingsley and I just like to cause shenanigans and get in
Yeah.
trouble whenever we're together. So what better?
That was half the fun last year. I'll be honest.
What better
From the
way to
viewer
get us
standpoint.
bantering back and forth?
Oh yeah, you guys
Agreed.
were great last year. Especially
so
the
much
later you got
fun.
in the afternoon,
The
the
more
little tired
delirious
you
we get, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
the loopy set in, and
Mhm.
you know, it was just kind of funny to watch you guys banter back and forth.
It,
But
it
here's-
is
Tomorrow's gonna
wonderful
be-
watching.
Our-
It is wonderful watching the progression of like you're awake, you're caffeinated, you're good, and you're starting to like get into the nonsense, and you're back to the serious, and then it's back to the nonsense.
Oh, I
Just
have
the-
my coffee maker ready
the
to
whole
go. I have you
Awesome.
know, some Red Bulls chilling on ice, ready for Saturday.
go.
So I'll be
It's a heart attack in a can.
chugging energy left and right. Ready
Yeah, I'm
to
getting
rock.
nervous.
so
there are 2 members of my household with COVID right now. So
Oh.
I'm hiding. I'm like,
no.
you can give it to me on Sunday, but
Right,
you cannot
right.
give it to me now.
Ooh.
I will love you from a distance.
Yeah.
But stay over there.
I will wave through you
All the way over
through the
there.
window.
I will leave your dinner for you in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah. Through the windows, through the walls.
No, you just need to
The COVID
activate the
down the
emergency
halls.
medical hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys touched on one of the things that I actually love the most about the TrekTalks and about Star Trek in general is how many other fandoms can you do this with? How many other fandoms would you be able to organize something like this and have somebody from all of the different shows, the different iterations, be interested and be excited? Like, even, I mean, we've worked with Armin and Kitty through PanCan and
Yes.
looking at the Trek cruises, and I'm like, there is no other fandom that you could do a cruise like that you can do PanCan and Trek Talks, and it's just incredible.
It's amazing. I love
don't-
how many charities, Star Trek actors and Star Trek creatives and
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure, yeah.
staff, whatever, everyone involved are so big in the charity world.
Mhm.
And people like Rod Roddenberry, he gives so much behind the scenes to different charities all over.
Yeah.
In the Roddenberry name, it's like that. It's helping the world, just giving a little boost to the world to make the future that we're all striving for.
And he matches our donations, by the way,
Yes.
like he's given us 50,000 every year
Mhm.
to match our
That's
donations.
awesome. Wow.
Right.
And so that's another,
Wow.
like, donate more because he'll give us more, but it's extraordinary that they do
That's
that.
very cool.
It's just so amazing to me because, like you had said, that we're working for the future of what we want. That people who watch Star Trek, people who love Star Trek, this is our future. This is where we want to go. Is we want to have this federation. We want to have this ability to build each other up, to help each other, and it is so evident in the way that the cast and the crew work together like that. This is not just a TV show. This is the reality they want to work for.
100%.
It is so crazy. I'm just thinking of like what would be the next biggest fandom for this. I'm thinking like Star Wars.
Mhm.
The fandom menace would never let this happen.
No.
It's the fact that Star Trek, if you especially for the actors, if you live and breathe in that near utopia where not just humanity but all species across the galaxy are being
Mhm.
brought up as best they can and everyone is cared for, you gotta it eventually gets into you, and then you
Mhm.
want to see that everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I
It's-
find it
yeah.
amazing that
And
people
I-
are just like,
too,
hey,
any
I'm going to
more-
course the world to get back to the Star Trek timeline.
Right.
Mhm.
I feel like anytime any of the cast, crew, whoever you find out that they're involved with a charity, it's not long before it's now this cast member's helping with this and this cast member's helping with it. And it's it's beautiful. Like Ben was saying, though, you can't get Star Trek fans or Star Wars fans to do that. You can't get them to agree and help and do things together.
Help people?
Right.
What?
Get
Oh,
the,
No, I
But,
will say
but
there
for
are
all the
good Star
viewers,
Wars ones.
exactly, for all the viewers out there who are like, Star Wars versus Star Trek. You don't have to choose. This is not Sophie's choice. We're not like
Right.
making you
No,
no, but you know, like, yeah, there's definitely a difference. And I know a lot of
Oh, for sure, yeah.
actors and, you know, creators and crew that are involved with both franchises who, you know, bridge that gap as
Absolutely.
well. It's, you know, we're not saying, oh, this is so much better, but yes, there is a visible difference of when the Star Trek community comes together compared to,
Agreed.
I feel, other franchises and fandoms. And Trek Talks is, I mean, the fact that this is our fourth one, this is the third one that I've been involved in. I sadly was not, I don't even think I was a part of the Star Trek. Well, I was part of the Star Trek community, but not, Prodigy was not fully announced yet. I don't believe yet.
Pre-Prodigy.
So it was pre-Prodigy. I was in Prodigy, but it wasn't out yet because it took us like 2 years to get it out. But for the first, you know, Trek Talks, I was just, you know, I was like on the outside looking in. And now that I get to be a part of it in a more involved way and help lend my voice and platform for the cause, it's such an incredible community to be a part of. And
Sure,
everyone should
that's
tune
part
in.
of it.
I mean, check if you go to the site and look at some of the bids for the auction that we have.
The auctions are fantastic.
It's insane what people have donated, and like donating everything from their time to, you know, memorabilia that's like one of a kind to experiences. You know, one example is you can bid to come have dinner and drinks at the world famous Magic Castle with John Billingsley and I, and possible some other surprise guests, which is such a fun time. We've done that the last few Trek Talks.
Might have to throw some money at that one.
Right? It's an amazing experience, and you know, I always pull out the red carpet and make sure anyone who donates, you know, to the Hollywood Food Coalition and bids on that and wins it gets the red carpet completely.
Oh man!
Not a literal red carpet, because I don't have that kind of power.
Oh.
But, you know, I pull as many VIP strings as I can to make them feel extremely special.
I'm just gonna, if I win, I will go up to you with a little red carpet like swatch, and just be like, "Here you go."
There you go. Yeah, just place a little square on the floor and be like, "Meh."
or like glue red carpet to the bottom of my shoes. That way, everywhere
There
you go, you're walking
everywhere
on the red carpet.
you're on a red carpet.
Didn't Tom Haverford on Parks and Rec had red carpet inside his shoes so that he was always on red carpet?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I'm just imagining Ben now walking.
Honestly forgot that was a thing.
I'm just imagining Ben walking around with a sample that you get from like Home Depot. See, this is my red carpet.
Yep.
All right, so
like,
guys, let me ask you this. So for those who want to view or participate on Saturday, but for whatever reason cannot view and participate on Saturday. Now I know this will be on YouTube, and there'll be things for them. This is something they can watch again later. Yes. But is there a way for people still to be able to help, even if they're not able to watch, view, and participate on Saturday?
Yes, yes. Take it away, Lori.
So first, you can donate at any time. You don't have to wait, and you certainly don't have to stop donating after it's over. And second of all, you'll be able to watch it afterwards, which is wonderful. And third, let's say you can't donate because you're struggling financially yourself, which of course we all understand. These are tough times. They're about to get tougher. Share. Do us a favor, spread the word and let people know. So
share and subscribe.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I've been posting this like
you could also do that with us.
In my work Slack, so that people there will do it. In like parents groups I'm in on Facebook, like wherever there are people, just please tell them about it and spread the word. And honestly, $5 makes a difference to the Hollywood Coalition. So it can be the smallest amount. It doesn't matter. And it's just such a beautiful thing to contribute to. So there are lots of ways to help out.
I can't remember the exact math, but I think like $20 is like, I don't know, like 10 meals or something crazy.
I think
it's like something around that, to where just a $20 donation does so much and like helps so much.
That's awesome.
So, because, you know, of course they feed in bulk, and they make sure that everyone gets a meal. So $20 can go a long way when you're creating meals for a large
Right.
quantity of people, and it helps.
And one
really.
of the things I always tell people with these type of events, because like the last couple of years we've been able to work with the group for the Pan Can group, and John and Kitty and Armin and those guys, and talking with them about that and reminding people that sometimes it's not everybody thinks that they have to donate big amounts.
No,
But the thing is that like we have 5 people on screen. So if all of us were to donate $5, that's $25, and then another 5 people donate that 20. That's like a snowball. It just starts rolling. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and so that's why that share button is so important. So even if you can't donate the $5, share out the word on Trek Talks, and it gives the opportunity for somebody else who maybe can do $5, $10, $20, $50, whatever it may be, and that all adds up. So don't feel ashamed that you can't do a big massive donation. The share is just as important.
I have the math of what a donation
the
can
math.
give you. I did the math.
Yeah.
I got it.
I need to
So
pull up my inner scurvy.
$10 provides a meal for 3 people.
Hey.
$35, you're providing 3 meals for a family of 4.
Ooh.
Yeah. $50,
Nice.
you're providing 4 meals for 4 people. I mean that's a big difference. That's a lot of meals, and that can make a difference in someone's life, big time. Just so every $5 is a
You
big
feed someone.
difference.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It does.
And-
And if you know rich people, then just
Oh,
ask
yeah.
them to donate. So
Be like, "Hey."
ask family members, ask friends. Just say this cause really means a lot to me, and then ask them
Absolutely.
to donate. And I've asked all kinds of people, and they do it. It's great.
And
That's
one of the
fantastic.
amazing things too about the Hollywood Food Coalition is that they work in tandem with so many different other charities and communities. So when you give to the Hollywood Food Coalition, you're giving to so much more as well. Like it's
That's
It's
awesome.
a true coalition, and they work with all of these different groups to rescue food, to make sure there's no waste, to make sure it's distributed to where it's needed, and to reach out to people who might not be able to show up there. Like they do so much. When you see the videos, because this was also part of my experience watching it the first year, was when I watched the videos of what the Hollywood Food Coalition did. I was like, why isn't that everywhere? And it is, it's in a lot of places, but I think they're a great model that other cities could learn from. I mean, LA has a very big problem with unhoused people who need help. But lots of cities do, and lots of places do. And so it's very moving to see the work that they do and how much they do. And this year, you're going to see on our show that Jonathan Frakes and Armin Shimmerman and Kitty Swink went to the Hollywood Food Coalition with John Billingsley and got a tour of it to see the work that they do.
It's amazing to see. But the videos I feel are so impactful. Like you need to tune into those, and they show you
For sure.
just exactly what they do and all the different communities they work within, all the other different charities that they collaborate with. And it really is what the Federation and what Star Trek strives to be and what we want our future to be, with everyone working together, no matter your gender, your size, your religion, your sexuality or sexual preference. It's just like people helping people. And that's what's so beautiful about it.
And
Absolutely.
then the thing they do is when they have people who come back a couple of times for a meal, when they feel that they then can approach them about other services they might need. Because it's a big, if you're unhoused and you want to apply for a job, you need clean clothes. You need all kinds of things.
Yep.
Maybe you need dental work. Maybe you need glasses. Like there are a lot of different things that they can help provide when they feel, again, it's the dignity part is so important, and understanding what people are facing, because sometimes people live in the streets because shelters are not safe.
Yeah.
And
Or full. So many people get turned
Right.
away.
Yeah.
Sadly, especially, in Southern California with the fires, so many people were displaced. There's still people unhoused just from losing everything in the fires. That the Hollywood Food Coalition. We did a charity event at the Magic Castle where it was like a drive where people were donating, and then, anyone who's lost anything or is in need of anything can come and get food, supplies, clothing, anything they need. And I remember they had a bunch of this food left over, and I was like, oh, where are we taking that? And someone's like, oh, I think we're giving this to the Hollywood Food Coalition. I went, ah. So it's just so funny how just in the community, just everyone's just helping each other and really working together to try and fix problems. And this happens in every community, in every state, every country. I mean, that's, it's such a problem that we're trying to, I feel like once we fix one little part of the problem over here, another part grows over here. And it's such a balance. Yeah. And, we just can't give up hope. We got to keep hoping and keep helping.
I think that's one of the things that stood out to me last year, watching Trek Talks, was not only the feeling of, in the sense of absolute community, but and then all the positivity that was talked about the Hollywood Food Coalition. And I started following them on their socials, and I went to their website and I was looking up, and I think that's one of the things that made me want to do anything that I could, and that's why I'm so proud to be an ambassador of the show this year. Is because of the way that the Hollywood Food Coalition does treat people with dignity, and what I've seen from them, and I've known a lot of people who were down on their luck and pushing through tough times and trying to do whatever they can to survive. Those aren't people that need to get kicked around. Those aren't people that need to be treated and poorly and like they're a drain on humanity. These are people who just need a little stability, a little helping hand, and maybe a nudge to get them going back in the right direction. And to give people that humanity, that ability to do that is awesome. And so it was between that and watching all the cool panels and all these different things that were happening on screen, and watching John and Bonnie razz each other in between panels and things that were happening. I was like, this is a fun and cool thing that I would like us to be involved with some way, somehow. So that's why I reached out and I was like, hey, what can I do? Can I do something? Can I share things? Can I do the things? So very excited that you guys allowed us to play in the sandbox even a little bit. So
absolutely.
I remember when we talked to John last year too, and he mentioned I think Bonnie had said the phrase rescuing food, and I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean rescuing food? And then looking at what the Hollywood Food Coalition does and making sure that things aren't going to waste. And that is one of the biggest issues with food distribution, is how much waste we have. And it's
a big problem.
Yeah.
It is. It's sad and it's sick. It like makes you heartsick looking at how much food gets wasted and realizing that it shouldn't be the problem that it is. There's plenty of food being produced. It's just a matter of changing how it gets to people.
Putting it back in the replicator so that then it can be turned back into a meal for someone else.
I wish we had replicators. That'd make... Well, no.
Until we have the Hollywood Food Coalition.
That would make getting Irish stew a whole lot easier for me. I'm not even gonna lie right now. That'd just be and Irish stew.
Funnily enough, this is still, I guess, Trek related, but if we did have replicators today, this is actually brought up from the Orville, that people would abuse that. That people with money and power would be like, the replicator's mine, and then you get to lease it. But I think we need a major change in the mentality of food and housing and society as a whole. But Trek is...
I was going to say, and the fact that it can happen to anyone.
Well, I think most of our country is just like one medical bill away from losing everything.
Yes.
This one, sadly, that's the reality of it. You hear stories, going to these shelters and places like the Hollywood Food Coalition. You hear these personal stories of, so many people have this mentality of the homeless and people who need help, like, oh, they do this, or they're, this and that. And it's like, that's
If only they would have.
That's
If
not-
only
Yeah.
they would have.
I don't want to
Yeah,
hear
that's
pull
not how it
yourself up
works.
by your bootstraps ever.
Oh,
again, as long as I
And
live.
even if
so
that is
violent.
why they are homeless, even if that is why they're struggling, whether it be addiction or mental illness or something, it's still a problem for all of us, in my opinion. That's
And
still
like you
something we
said,
can conquer together. And that's
How many people are one medical bill away from having
Yeah.
that be an issue? I have had 3 abdominal surgeries in the last 6 months.
Mhm.
My last one that I just had 2 weeks ago. Exactly. Ask Kathleen about her medical bills. Thank you, John. The last one I had.
How many
2 weeks ago-
zeros is the real question?
Last week, or the one 2 weeks ago, just the surgeon billed $39,000. That is not
Oh.
including anesthesia. That
was
is not
gonna say,
including the
anesthesia's separate.
hospitalization. That's not including the prescriptions. That was just from the surgeon
Yep.
or the operation. I had an emergency appendectomy last month, and it grand totaled $30,000, including a $2,000 ambulance ride.
And
Yeah,
sadly, that's
ambulances
low.
are a
Don't
whole
even get me
other-
started on that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John
But-
Oliver did a great piece about
Mhm.
ambulances.
Yes, he did,
It was
actually.
Very insightful.
The 3 surgeries I've had since September are more than the cost of my house.
Yeah. It's honestly such a problem, and that's what, everyone needs to realize, especially with how everything's torn so much right now, that people, things like housing, food, healthcare, it doesn't, the question shouldn't be, do they deserve this? It should be like, that is
Oh,
not
I
how,
hate
Yeah.
when
that is
people
not
say
how
that.
humanity works. That's not how society should work. And sadly, that's kind of the mentality lately has been every man for himself. It's a dog eat dog world. And it's like, no. It's not. Let's work together. There's plenty for everyone. Let's figure out a way to lift each other up to where we can all be
And
at a level.
That's one of those
And
things with
humanity.
humankind is where we are stronger and we have survived for as long as we have because we have community.
Yep.
Mhm.
Collaboration.
Because we come together
Yeah.
and help each other. That's what makes humans so powerful.
Mhm.
It's not our individuality. It's not our, like, I can do this on my own. The humans that did it on their own died.
Yep.
We are the descendants of those that work together. And I have a very personal, I guess, connection, especially with this type of thing. One, big Star Trek fan, but I was homeless for a time. There's a saying where you are 3 bad months away from being homeless. You are never 3 good months away from being a millionaire.
I was in a hostel for a while, living like that. Like people don't realize just how, I'm so blessed now. Like my living situation changed, but
Right.
when you live paycheck to paycheck, just one
And
I
bump
just
in the
got my-
road can.
No, and people are getting the layoffs. I know 2 people who got fired today. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are losing
Same.
their jobs right and
Oh
left,
gosh. Okay.
so-
Doom and gloom. Let's
I
talk
just got-
positive. Let's talk positive.
I just got my tax returns, and I didn't get money. Let's just
Oh,
put
I
it
never
that
get
way.
money.
Oh,
But
they-
the-
they
Money,
hit me
what's
with
bring it
that?
back
"Hey,
to like
you
a
owe
Oh, money. That's the
14
thing that we
So-
want you guys to donate to Trek
Yes.
Talks
Yes.
on
Yes.
Saturday.
Lovely
That does
segue.
remind
Lovely
me.
segue.
Yeah,
But
and
that's one of the things is that we know so many people are struggling right now, and so many people
Absolutely.
who want to donate might not be able to. But the beauty of it is tune in and share and be active, in the chat. Share it on your socials. There's
Those
ways you
likes,
can help.
comments, and shares really,
Yeah, there's
really,
so many-
really help.
There's so many
we're
ways
going
to
to be
help.
posting clips during Matthew from our team will be posting like clips, just taking bits of it and putting it on
Mhm.
the Trek Talk social accounts. Probably Blue Sky, I think, is the best place for that.
Perfect.
Mhm.
So if you follow us there and then share those clips,
Absolutely.
because they're going to be, I mean, last year's show was so incredible. And so I feel like, and it
was.
yielded a
It was
lot of,
great.
I mean, we had the Tuvix panel and the Picard reunion.
Oh, that
and
was such a good
all
panel.
these incredible things. And so, it was the first time I'd ever moderated a panel in my life last year. So
You
that
did
was kinda
fabulously,
awesome.
darling.
But so this year we have the autobiography authors. We got all 3 of them, and they're going to come together. I don't even know if they've ever met each other, but they're going to come together and talk about their process of writing those autobiographies. So, which I can't wait for. But there's so many exciting moments that are happening. Nana's coming to talk about her book, which I hope you've all read, her magnificent book.
Nah.
Oh my God.
I
So
love
and then having Robert Picardo and Kate Mulgrew with no moderator
Right?
is going to
Oh,
be great.
that panel is going to just be pure antics and pure
Yeah,
goodness,
and
which
hopefully
is the
they'll
one-
have cocktails first, and then the lower decks gang, like
the lower decks panel is going to be a lot of
this
fun.
year is just going to be on fire, and I am so excited for it.
For
Every
those
time I
last-
see a post come out, I'm like, ooh.
yeah.
For those last 2 panels you just mentioned, do we have a time for those? Just so I could make an alarm for myself for
Well,
it.
so here's the deal: we don't tell people exact times, but on
I guess I just have to watch the whole thing then.
So you do have to
That's
watch
the
the whole thing,
plan.
but here's what we have. So on trekmovie.com, which is the site that I am part of, and I'm representing them when I'm doing all the stuff with TrekTalks. We have not the schedule, we have the lineup in order. So it doesn't have the times, but it does tell you what's coming after what and who's moderating and who's on the panel.
Okay.
It doesn't do all the interstitials and all of those things.
Sure.
So you have to understand that those are going to happen, but it should give you a pretty good idea so that because I know there's like a lot of political protest going on Saturday too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people are going to have to
Yuri's night and also
Yeah.
First Contact Day. So there's so much happening on Saturday.
It's a busy
I'll
day.
actually be at Yuri's night as well. So as soon as Trek Talks is over, I'm racing to a Yuri's night event.
So as a reminder for everybody who's watching and listening or maybe watching the replay of this, what time should they be tuning in on Saturday?
9:45 a.m.
Pacific.
Pacific
time.
Pacific. That is Pacific, and that
12:45 Eastern.
And that is when the Sci-Fi Sisters will kick us off.
Woo!
And if you have not watched their show or listened to their podcast,
They're a
there's
hoot.
something wrong with you.
I love those ladies.
They are incredible. I'm just in awe of them, and they are partners on this whole event.
And what a perfect way to start off the event is with the Sci-Fi Sisters.
And it's Bill from Trek Geeks, and it's Bill and Dan who started this whole thing with John Billingsley. But he said, I think last year the Sci-Fi Sisters were like 25% of our content.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true.
Okay.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
Well, they're a phenomenal show. So
they really are.
Yeah, they really are. So very cool. All right. Well, guys, if you haven't caught on by now, Trek Talks is this Saturday, April 5th. And as mentioned, it starts at 9:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12:45 Eastern Standard Time. So check it out. It's going to be a great thing. And if, as mentioned before, as Bonnie has said, as Lori has said, if you cannot donate, no one will hold it against you. But if you can share the socials and share information going out, that is a huge thing. Just to like their socials and then share it.
Absolutely.
That does so much, because that helps feed into the algorithms and it's more eyes on it. And if you can't donate, maybe somebody else can, and you're getting it out in front of them so that they can see it. So share it with all your Trek friends and your non-Trek friends and people that you just saw on the street and that one guy that you flipped off as he drove past you. Share it with all of them. And,
maybe not that guy, unless you tell him that he has to donate before he could do anything about.
Well, first you flip them off, and then you give them the live long and prosper. Then you hold up the Trek Talk.
Yeah, it's a one finger difference.
Yeah, you do this, and then you do that, and then you do that, and then you put down another finger. But we're not going to talk about that.
It's all on how you look at it.
Speaking of donations, I believe Lori, you mentioned that someone was matching donations.
Rod Roddenberry.
So even if you could only donate $5,
that's $10.
Technically donating $10. Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
whatever number you're giving, double it, and that's what you're giving to these people, and then that's more people fed, more families taken care of,
more people helped to get back on their feet and be shown dignity and humanity. which is the Trek way. So
it is totally the Trek way. And going back to that first year when I was just watching, I was like, oh, I should donate. And then I donated. And then like 2-3 hours passed and I'm like, I gotta donate again. This is still really great. And then I threw in some more. And then I'm like, yeah, by the end, I was like, I should really give them just a little bit more. So, you realize what you can do. And then I do things like I'll email my dad. I'll be like, hey, Dad, there's this charity I care about. And then he's like, okay. So it's
that's very
a good
cool.
way of looking at it is, you're tuning in and watching pretty much a full day of content, of panels and interviews and specials and tomfoolery and guests that you don't like. For example, think about going to a con and spending a money on a badge and then spending money on trying to get like a good seat at if they have reserved seating for the panels and whatnot, like waiting in line for hours trying to get into this exclusive panel where like 15 of your favorite Star Trek stars are doing a reunion. Then all of a sudden you just think of it like that way. The money you're donating and spending is basically like buying a badge for this incredible content that you're seeing. Think of it like going to a convention, except as John would say, you don't have to put on pants.
I was going to say, and you don't have to wear pants.
You can just sit back, relax. You don't even have to, you don't
have to deal with other people.
You could put it on while you're cleaning the house and put
there's no lines. You just get to go sit down in your most favorite comfortable chair.
Exactly. Right. You have to go to the bathroom. You don't lose your seat.
Watch it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop.
Bring your pets with you. They can watch. If you've got cats, dogs, whatever.
That's how you got to think of it. You're really paying. It's like going to a convention where you're getting the best seat in the house. You're going to get to hear all of your favorite, stars from Star Trek and more. And you're going to get panels and content that you pretty much probably wouldn't be able to get at a convention because
unless at a discount too. Look at it that way.
You forgot to mention one of the really good panels, by the way, that I just remembered, which is we're doing past tense from Deep Space Nine with Larry Nemeczek as moderating. And we have Ira Stephen Bear, Robert Hewitt Wolf, Terry Farrell, and then Blair Bursey from the Hollywood Food Coalition. Who's a Star Trek fan also to offer that perspective. So that's going to be a really, that episode is so significant at this time in particular. And I know a lot, like my podcast too, we had Robert Hewitt Wolf on and there have been a lot of conversations, but I don't think I've seen this particular combo of people. And Jonathan Frakes wanted to be there, but he's doing a convention, so he could not. But he did. He was originally, when we had our previous date, he was going to join.
We'll forgive him for this time.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll forgive him.
He goes above and beyond. He does his part.
He really does.
Respond to John Wass. I already have a plan in place for that. I'm going to purchase a couple of extra Funkos, set them off to the side, and then just be like, oh, look, we're taking a break between panels. I found a cool Funko. So yeah, I already have that fixed, John. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Perfect.
As we're thinking about all of the benefits of getting to do this and having it be a con experience in your own home, honestly, John's idea of the you don't have to wear pants is like a huge selling point, I know, for a lot of people. But I was thinking of it too with your couch is way more comfortable than convention chairs. Way more comfortable. Mm-hmm. You're not paying concession prices for food. You're not dealing with people and just my big issue with cons is how tight it gets. And then there's people touching you and they're everywhere. And no. I get to stay home and be comfy.
Yep.
And wear soft pants.
And watch amazing content.
Pants.
I call them fat pants, but you can call them whatever you want.
I call them soft pants.
And bid on amazing things.
Yes, please bid on the things.
Go look at the auction. Seriously, it's incredible. I'm trying to. Really cool
we have tickets to The Voice in LA. Tickets to watch what happens live in New York. So, none of those include flights. Sorry. But tickets to both of those things, and there's like some unique. There are some very unique.
I'm trying to pull up the auction right now.
Signed posters from Mike McMahon and the cast of Lower Decks. I think there's a Discovery poster that Bill has spent years getting every single cast member's signature on it, with the plan to do something really special with it. And this was the thing.
What's amazing is that, the event is on Saturday, but we already have over $5,000 donated. $5,803 has already been donated
So that's $10,000 donated. So
The Star Trek
Mhm.
family group has been already doing events to raise money for us. And I know
Yeah.
the Crusher Convo podcast, she's donating proceeds from t-shirts that she sells. Like,
yeah,
and that's another thing you can do. Like if you, let's say you don't have money, but maybe you have artistic talent, and that's something that you can sell to somebody or donate to us or whatever. We have
Mhm.
Aaron Harvey's he's done all of our graphics, and he's an incredibly talented professional graphic designer, and he's just donating all of his time to
that's
make all these
awesome.
graphics for us. And our whole team, we are all volunteers.
Absolutely.
awesome.
It's amazing.
With-
I have the auction up right now if you want me to go through some of this stuff.
Yeah, please.
Real
Yeah.
quick before we
Oh,
go
yeah.
through auction stuff, I apologize. I want to just share the power of sharing. I'm in a LARP group in Juneau, Alaska, and I just posted everything we've just talked about. I've
Ah.
sent in the link for TrekTalks, all the donation pages. I've sent a whole description of what it's for, what it does, who it goes to. I have already 10 people commenting saying they're going to tune in and donate.
Yay!
All right.
Thank
That's all it is.
That's the
all
power
it
of
is.
sharing. I unfortunately will not be able to donate much. I will still donate. But the fact that I just shared it to 10 people, well, I shared it to a bunch more, but just in the 5 minutes that it's been up, 10 people have commented saying that they're going to share, they're going to donate, they're going to tune in.
Very cool.
You can do that too, my wonderful people. So, anyway,
Absolutely.
to the auction stuff.
Oh yeah, to the auction. Well, obviously, I already mentioned the Magic Castle. That is an auction item that you can have. A night
Going to be
of
gunning for that one.
tomfoolery with John Billingsley and myself, and possible special other Star Trek guests. And that includes dinner and drinks, which is very exciting. John and I treat.
That ain't cheap
Everyone.
at the Magic Castle.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
no.
it's an incredible experience. 2 tickets to watch what happens live in New York City. So for any
Which,
of you who
by
goes,
the way, my best friend got us those. I just need to say.
that's amazing. Well, tell her
Ooh.
thank you.
Thank you, Lori's best friend.
Thank you, Lori's best friend. And then for those that go to Star Trek Las Vegas, there we do a big Vegas cocktail party at the convention, and you can bid and win the Vegas cocktail party with the stars at Creations Vegas Con 2025. And when at that event is when we like announce and kick off information for the next Trek Talks. So it's a fun event to be in. A lot of stars and Trek folk are at this event, and you never know who you're going to meet and bump into. I've gone and everyone's been there. It's incredible.
It's
And
a lot of fun.
that's just the experience auction items. There's so many different collector items. I won't go through all of them because that's just
Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
a lot,
there's
but
ton
like
of them
so
out there.
many things that are like, one of a kind, signed by cast, signed by this, anniversary banners, hero
Yeah,
legacy models of the ships. I mean, it's insane what you can get. And they're all, some of them are like big time collector items. They're one of a kind things.
for
where
sure,
you're not going to be able to find anywhere.
Yeah, for the Trek fan, the stuff that's on auction here, the memorabilia that's signed, the collectibles that are available. I've seen some of the auction items come through, and a couple of different times I was like, wow, I can't believe some of the things that are going up for auction. Not just these experience things, and those are cool, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But for the nerdy collector who wants something cool, that one of a kind piece to go up on their shelf as a display item, that's a conversation piece when people come.
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
it right
absolutely.
there. So, but just real quick, now we have Trek Talks, like I said, on Saturday. But if you would, and I know you guys got to be heading out here kind of quickly. You guys got a lot of prep to do, and I appreciate the time you were able to cut out for us, like so very much. Thank you.
Of course.
But remind people where they can find you and follow you individually, because we'll cover the Trek Talks portion before we sign off. So
You go first, Bonnie.
Sure. I'm super easy to find. Just type in Bonnie Gordon anywhere. And at Bonnie Bell G is my handle for pretty much any and every social media platform. You can find me, on Star Trek Prodigy. Fun fact,
Yay.
everyone, I love being known as the ship computer and the voice of the Protostar. That's amazing. I play 12 characters on Star Trek Prodigy. So go watch all 2 seasons and try and make it a game and drink every time you hear my voice. Or not. And then
That might be a little dangerous.
Right?
Alcohol poisoning.
I mean, I do
Hey,
have
that's something you
I
could do
start
during
with.
Trek Talks.
Hey now. Well, yeah, every time John and I mention no pants, you can take a shot.
Yeah.
My liver
Oh.
can't handle
Water. Hydrate.
Just kidding,
Uh,
just kidding.
Or
A shot of
gummy,
water or
whatever your
tea
thing is.
or
Yeah, you don't
gummy's
even-
nice.
Do whatever you want. Eat a marshmallow. I don't know, but no,
it's a lot of marshmallows.
I'm easy to find, and feel free to reach out to me on any social media platform. Say hello. I'm easy to find and easy to talk to.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
so
the
much,
only
Bonnie.
Lori Elster on the planet, as far as I know. So if you Google me, that's me.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. But I am on social media. I am usually Floobish, FLOOBISH, because sometimes you feel a
Fantastic
little
name.
floobish. So, and some people call me Floobish because of that, which is sort of weird. But anyway, that is where to find me. I'm also at Trek Movie. I do a weekly podcast. We haven't been doing weekly as much right now, but the All Access Star Trek podcast, which is every Friday morning. TrekMovie.com, which is where I'm writing and doing interviews and all those kinds of things. So, and I have books out you can buy and all kinds of excitement. So,
Yes,
Buy
yes.
all the things.
And as a shameless plug for our own show, you can watch wonderful interviews, and they're wonderful because of the guests, with both Bonnie and Lori on the FSF PopCast. Both have been guests before and graced us with their presence. So, but yeah, go check them out. Go check them out on their socials. Follow them. It's a good time. Bonnie's got a lot of really cool stuff going on.
I'm
it's
working
not just
on
all
it.
Trek related. And just
Wait
keep
till
an
you
eye
see
on
what
her.
I have
She's-
brewing.
I can't
Ooh.
wait. I always love it when somebody that I've talked to says, "Oh, you're not gonna believe what I got coming." I can't talk about it, but you're not gonna believe it. I'm like, but I want to know the things. Tell me the things. So,
And
So-
Bonnie,
When
we don't
that
talk about this a lot, but like I am the world's biggest Prodigy fan. Like I just think that is maybe the best show of all the new Treks. Like
You
it
know-
has completely captured my heart.
Heart
I
full
love
of
it
it's my
so much.
gateway.
I'm deranged. I have all little action figures and things and
Oh.
whatever. But so the fact that you're part of that, it's a big deal to me
It's
because I just love that show.
I'm so, because I love kids so much and have like, a nephew and 2 nieces, like being a part of the show that is the gateway to the young kids to get in
Mhm.
Star Trek is like, I'm just like, yes, I'm in the best one because my nephew
Yeah.
can watch me. And also just, I think season 2 is one of the best seasons of Star Trek of all
So good.
Trek. And
Yeah.
So good.
I'm not the only one that thinks that that is like a critic's common
Yeah.
quote.
And again, talk
So-
about community. Like the Hagemans and Aaron
Oh,
Walke are
yes.
the people that when you if you go to Vegas, you can stand at the bar and have long conversations with them about Star Trek. You don't even have to
Absolutely.
ask them about their Star Trek.
Mhm.
Especially Aaron,
Any
you
Star
can ask
Trek.
about anything.
Aaron.
Oh, Aaron is
But,
the Wikipedia, the Trek.
Yeah, Aaron is down to talk about
Trek-opedia.
Trek about anytime, any place, anyhow. So
I love Aaron.
Yeah.
But they're
No,
just the nicest guys. Like
They really are.
standing
They
at the
really
bar,
are.
and they were like, "Oh, we were just listening to your podcast." I was like, "What?"
They're
Say what now?
amazing. They're
Yeah.
they're truly amazing.
Oh.
They're such an incredible creative
Yeah.
team, and the Hagemans, especially, I owe everything to, because they fought for me to have me be a part of the show and brought me on board. So really, it was
Very
just
cool.
we became like a little dysfunctional family, and they're such an incredible group of people. Aaron,
generous.
everyone's just so, we're just all friends. Like we just all
Come on,
all
season
take care of
3.
each other.
So-
Oh gosh, wouldn't that be wonderful?
Oh,
Yes, it would.
I know everyone we got to fly another plane over Netflix, I guess.
And this is everybody's reminder to go to Netflix and watch Prodigy
Mhm.
over
Watch
and over and over
Prodigy.
again.
Yeah,
That's
does
how
help.
Netflix helps decide
It helps.
what they're going to put on. So,
and
Bonnie,
buy the,
thank you.
buy the
Oh my
DVD.
God.
Lori, thank you. Appreciate you guys so very much.
Thank you
You
all.
guys are
Thank you so much for having
amazing.
us.
You guys rock. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
And we'll
for
see you
helping us
on
promote it.
Saturday.
Stay nerdy, everybody.
Oh, for sure.
Bye.
Bye bye.
So
yes.
talking about,
Oh, they're so fantastic.
I'm gonna jump right in this. So talking about having guests on that tell us we've got things coming, but we can't talk to you about it yet. We've got things coming, we can't talk to you about it yet. June 5th, we have a date for the new Phineas and Ferb.
We do.
Hey,
a little different, but yeah, it's okay. One of the things we were gonna talk about. We actually went longer on the Trek Talks than I was expecting, and that's awesome because Lori and Bonnie are amazing, and I'm glad that we spent extra time with them. We were going to talk about First Contact Day because that is also on Saturday, April 5th. But maybe we might do. We're gonna have a whole Trek themed April on our live shows, so maybe we'll cover First Contact on another day, just because of time constraints. So, but yeah. So really, honestly, the thing that we need you guys to do out of all of this is make sure that you're paying attention to the fact that Trek Talks is Saturday, April 5th. If you still need more information, please go to trektalks.net. On their website, there's all the information there. You can find out all the people that are involved. And really, the Hollywood Food Coalition is amazing. The things that they do. We've talked about it for an hour. We could talk about it, and they will talk about it for many hours on Saturday because it is a very, very factual thing. And we want you guys to know and understand and appreciate how cool of a situation this really, really very much is. And I'm just excited about it.
And anybody out there listening to us who is associated with a food bank, a food coalition, whatever, look at the Hollywood Food Coalition, look at what they do and see if there's maybe something you can learn from them. Maybe there's a way that you guys can improve your own distribution, your own ability to rescue food and rescue people in the process. I mean, it doesn't have to just be that's good for them. Let's see if there's something that you can do to make it better for everybody.
Absolutely. And maybe that would be a painless process, much like Novocaine. Bring home Novocaine. Buy it on digital now. When the girl of his dreams is taken hostage, Nathan Kane's inability to feel pain will be his greatest strength in the fight to get her back. Buy the film critics are calling outrageous, original, and wildly entertaining. And get over 35 minutes of bone-crushing extra features available at participating retailers. Rated R from Paramount Pictures. Ben, you were going to say something?
That's the
wonderful segue there, buddy.
You're welcome.
That's the guy from The Boys, isn't it?
That's Jack Quaid. He's
the guy from The Boys.
And he's also from Lower Decks.
From The Boys.
That's true. I will also say, so I have food background. I went to culinary school. I worked in kitchens for years. I will tell you, if you manage to make a deal with some restaurants around you, they will love you for it. They will give you stuff they're not going to use, or maybe they got too much. Maybe they got a different thing than what they were told. They have to pay to get rid of that.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, I'll take it off your hands, they'll more than likely, going from my own experience, they will happily just hand you that stuff. Obviously, talk to them, have official paperwork, have charity paperwork. Maybe you're also working for a food coalition.
Right.
So, have some kind of documentation. Don't just walk into a restaurant and go, yo, give me your food. That's probably not going to work out the way you think.
So, yeah. No, it probably won't. All right. Well,
imagine walking into an Applebee's and just like, give me your food.
Hey, where's the extra food? Stop here. That's a really bad impression. All right. So on that note, it was pretty terrible, wasn't it? It was, yeah. On that note, we want to remind you guys that, again, one more time, Saturday morning, 9:45 on the West Coast, 12:45 on the East Coast. Go to TrekTalks.net. You can follow them on YouTube, follow them on all their social media. If you cannot donate, please share. Cannot stress that enough. Please share. It's immensely powerful.
One more quick thing. Even if you, for some reason, cannot like, comment, and share, If you have a phone and a computer, put that on the background of your computer.
Mhm.
Let it run.
Let it play. Let it play.
Just let it play the whole time, because that's a view, which means the algorithm pushes it to another person as well.
Absolutely.
So just by watching, you are already sharing that to other people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Do the rest of it as
Absolutely.
well. But
Absolutely.
just
Do
by
all the
having it
things.
open, it will work.
Absolutely. All
All
right, guys.
On multiple devices, even better.
If you can, yeah. All right, guys. On that note, I want to remind you to make sure that may the force, I can't even say my own closing because I'm tired.
I think for
This is-
tonight, for thematic reasons, I think it's just
Live long and prosper.
Look like
Exactly.
Copyright 2025 FSF PopCast. Reference any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.